Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is perfect. And I have a few lies to fess up to today. The first one being that last week was all a lie. I was not here. I was out of the country, and I don't like broadcasting that news. I was out of the country with my partner and my companion and my best friend in the whole world for our wedding. You have known her as M for many, many years, and I believe I have told you, but if I haven't before, I will tell you that her name is not M. She's not an Emma or anything like that. Her name is actually Malia, and we chose I chose M just as like, and it's an initial, but it also some people go by M, and so she's a very private person, but she has agreed to let me share wedding pictures and that sort of stuff. So you finally get to meet M today, not on camera, but just the who she is. She's an amazing person, and we ran away to Mexico to get married. We did not run away, but we had decided very early on in our talks about marriage. I think most people have talks now long before that we were going to have a destination wedding for the simplicity of it, for the romance of it, for so we could have something special without it being gigantic, right? And it was perfect. It was a really beautiful day, a really beautiful wedding, a really wonderful time. We took my children, my friend Jeff went, and her friend Stephanie, and her family. Like, all in all, I think there was a group of 20 of us, and that was it. And it was fantastic. It really, really was. So that's lie number one. That last week was all a lie. I wasn't here. The bench isn't built. None of that happened. Hopefully, the bench will get built this week or next. I have some time now that to work on it, so I hope to get to do that. The second lie is that we were already married. We've been married for over a month now. If you go back and watch some of the videos, you might notice in the beginning of the videos that I was wearing my wedding band, and then throughout the video, at some point, I would take it off and put it in my pocket. I don't know that anybody noticed. If you did, nobody pointed it out. Nobody messaged me directly. But we actually got married out of the country because getting married in a foreign country is a bit tricky, especially in Mexico. Mexico requires blood tests, and you have to be there so many days in advance, especially because of all the other stuff you have to do. And then, like, that wedding is not legally recognized here. We'd have to come back and get that paperwork approved and filed and all that sort of stuff. So it was just easier to get married here and then go have our, quote, real wedding in Mexico. And it actually worked out that way. I told you a while back that the thing that made this marriage special to me was that it wasn't special, that it's just, that's what we're going to do. And that was true. And I can tell you that that was also true for the courthouse wedding. We went to the courthouse. We didn't do anything fancy. We just went to the courthouse. This was a parents-only event. My parents were there. Her parents were there. That was nice because my parents couldn't travel. My dad has Parkinson's. They're older, so taking them to Mexico was not an option. And I think they would have. My mom might have liked it. My dad would have hated it. And we'll talk about Mexico like tomorrow. Probably for a couple of days, we'll at least talk about Mexico. But just the weather he wouldn't have liked. So we got to have a tiny little, 10 minutes. It was literally 10 minutes at the courthouse, and they got to be a part of that, the legal wedding. And that was not, that was also not special. That was like a very just, okay, we're going to go do the thing. Yeah, we did vows and stuff. We didn't write our own. The judge did our vows. And we signed, now we're legally married. We are a legal couple, and we've been a legal couple now for a month. We got legally married on May 9th. We got ceremonially married on June 8th, Thursday, this past Thursday. But what I can tell you is the wedding that happened on Thursday was far more important than what happened in the courthouse. The wedding that happened on Thursday was emotional. It turned out to be a much bigger deal than I thought it was going to be. Like, her family was there, grandparents, uncles, mother, father, brother, all that sort of stuff. And it was just such a loving, powerful ceremony. The person who performed the ceremony, for lack of, I don't know what she would be called, was just fantastic. She had a lot to say about love and about companionship, and it became a very emotional time. There was still zero nerves leading up to it. There was no nerves leading up to the courthouse wedding. There was zero lead up. Like, it was fine. I love her. I love her family. They're all amazing people. They loved me from the moment they met me, despite, maybe there was some initial shock at our age gap, but everybody's just, that's fine, whatever. And it was, so there was no like nervousness to get up there and somebody's going to say something or whatever. There was no butterflies. There was nothing. But when she walked out with her dad, walking her, it was definitely like, like, wow, this is fantastic. And then we did the thing, and we held the mic and said what the lady said. She did something that I wasn't expecting. I knew slightly, but she gave both of my children rings and made a promise to them as well, and that got everybody choked up. Even like friends who don't know us got choked up. Not that friends don't know us, but anyway, everybody got choked up at that. I think the camera guy got choked up at that. So that was pretty powerful. It was so much more impactful, that event, than our legal ceremony. It was just fantastic. We had a beautiful thing. It was supposed to rain that day. It didn't start raining until about 10 minutes after the ceremony. So so we had spent like an hour in our rooms getting ready. I was trying to get my hair to behave because I have, my hair is real thick and it stands up, and she's like, get that matted. But by the time we got out there, the wind was blowing because the storm clouds were like, maybe you can see it in some of the pictures, were coming towards us. It started raining 10 minutes after we finished the ceremony. So my hair is like standing up straight because the wind was just blowing off the ocean. It didn't matter. Like, we were just, it does not matter. This isn't about perfection. This is about just a profession of love. And it was phenomenal. It was unbelievable. So, I guess that was 3 lies. M's name, the not being here last week, and us being already married. So I'm curious to know if anybody of you noticed. Did anybody notice the wedding band over the last month? And be honest. Don't try to. Did you notice me wearing it? Did you notice me taking it off? I tried not to be conspicuous with it, but also I tried not to be inconspicuous or try to hide it. I wanted to see if anybody would pick up on it. So it was a fantastic trip. Like I said, we'll talk about Mexico tomorrow, and probably multiple days. If you have particular questions, we got married at a Bahia Principe resort in Quintana Roo, Mexico, which it's about, the resort we were at is probably a half an hour or so north of Tulum. It's on the Yucatan Peninsula. So if you have any questions about all of that, you can put that in the comments. But yeah, it was beautiful. It was wonderful. Nobody wanted to come home on Saturday, but we all did. We all made it safe. Nothing crazy happened. Well, something crazy happened. We'll talk about that again tomorrow. We'll go into some daily happenings of our time there. But yeah, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who follows me on the other social medias and has already congratulated me. We posted some stuff about it yesterday, so thank you all for keeping up with what's going on in my world and being a part of it. I wish I could have invited everybody in the world, but I feel like in some weird way I did, and I feel like in some weird way you were all a part of it, despite not being there. I don't know how to explain that. I'll try to figure it out. Thank you. Just thank you for being here. Always. Thank you. It's been fun. This has been fun. What do you think about the shirt? There was a time in my life when I got back from Hawaii. I was stationed there. If you didn't know that, I wore nothing but Hawaiian shirts for years of my life. Probably 5, 6, 10 years. I wore Hawaiian shirts every day. I didn't wear t-shirts. Maybe I should bring back the Hawaiian shirt look. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is rectitude. It is a noun meaning moral virtue or righteousness. The mind that's conscious of its rectitude laughs at the lies of rumor. Ovid, a Roman poet. Rectitude. R-E-C-T-I-T-U-D-E. That's moral virtue. I wonder where that... I don't even understand the root of that or why that would mean that, but I don't think I've heard that word before.